Family and business.
Family and business.
Something
yes.
that's dear to our hearts.
Yes. Well, as a father of three and an office at home, I know a little bit about family and business.
Yes.
But even previously, building businesses. There was a point in my life with young kids that I was travelling 80 or 100 nights a year away from home. And I mean, that's an aspect as well. I mean, family and businesses, I guess, can be both of those things. Are you at home a lot? Mm-hmm.
Or you're away a lot.
Or are you away a lot, which puts an extra burden on your spouse, partner. For me was, really obviously being aware of those important times in life and making sure that I could try and adjust my calendar diary to be back in town for those things.
Yes.
Hey, in a COVID/post-COVID world, there's probably not the same problem for a lot of people.
Different,
I guess.
yeah.
And but certainly for the last 5 or 6 years of my life, I've always maintained a good home office and spent a lot of time at home. One of the big things around that is having young kids and a home office is making sure that they understand how the business is connected to everything that we get as a family.
You get to do the fun stuff.
Yeah, the activities, the school activities, the sports activities, the holidays. Could be the clothes, what we eat, whether we eat home, whether we eat out.
Yeah.
All of those things really, the business is kind of the
enabler,
the seed, the enabler that actually all of those other things actually sprout out from. Having them identify that it's such an important part, not just of Daddy's life, but it's an important part of the family
unit.
Life.
Yeah.
And what we do, and how we live.
I know for me, my child has left home. However, it's the communication with the person who is sharing my home, which is my husband, and it's having that conversation to say, simple things. When the door is closed, I'm on a call.
Yep.
I'm in a Zoom meeting, all those sort of things. But communicating so that he understands, and for me to understand, he's hopping out to do some stuff, great, I can get on the camera, I can do some filming, those sort of things. So it's the communication of what the rhythms of the day are. What are you going to be doing today? What am I doing today? How do we flex around those?
Yep.
Because you do get that flexibility, but you have to have the conversation because you don't know unless you ask.
And I think it's that mutual respect, right? From whether it's spouse or maybe another generation that could be living with you.
Yeah.
An older generation. I'm growing up. I always had my grandmother living with us, and or it's your children. Just them being aware of those critical times, or if something's coming up, and everyone having respect for each other. I mean, if you can give respect at those other times, then you would hope that you can try and get a bit of respect in the times that you need it. Now, it's completely unrealistic to ask everyone to be quiet all of the time.
Exactly. Yes.
When it's from 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning through to 5 or 6 p.m. at night. So it's about, okay, what are the wins that you really need? What are the 1 or 2 times a day that are really critical? So that's, I'll say an hour or two in advance. Hey, we've got a video conference coming up, and it'd be really handy if the movie room is not running at 110 decibels.
Yes. Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah, indeed. So it's communication again, hey?
Yeah.
So a key component about this balancing the home and family is share the vision. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
I know I've been surrounded by people who are employed, don't have the same mindset, those sort of things. So, and I still get today, wow, you're working a lot of hours, Joanne. When are you going to stop? When are you going to be done? Well, no, that just doesn't. And I know what served me really well was to have the conversation with my family, particularly my mum, who, while she's 90, it's important for her to understand that I'm happy in what I'm doing,
and that it's chore, right?
it's something that I love doing. And every day when I speak to you, how was your day? Yeah, really busy, really productive. Oh, you're still really busy, great. And she's on board for the journey,
It's one of those
so
really
important.
Big, and and it's battling against probably one of the biggest urban myths that there is, that everybody buys into, is that work is work.
Yeah.
It's a chore.
Yeah.
You know, and it just doesn't have to be. I mean, it's just part of life that we go and find something, latch onto something that we really enjoy doing. And, you know, I just feel it's so important for people to be able to get that message. And part of that, as you say, is aligning the values in the family and those around you within your home, that, you know, work just simply isn't a chore for me. And trying to get that same value into those around, that, you know, go to work because you enjoy it. My wife does, you know, the things that she does, she does them because she enjoys them.
Yeah.
And trying to get our children into that same mode is that, you know, pick a career path. You don't have to go and own your own business, but pick a career path that you really enjoy.
Fulfills
It's
you.
fulfilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fulfilling.
Yeah.
It's serving, you know, something, you know, deep in meaning for in your life. And, you know, part of those values, you know, particularly in our family, but I think for any business owner, is work ethic.
Yeah.
You know, like you know, it's important that you're building, you know, like the history of humans and civilization is building and creating.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that's, you know, all of us, you know, ultimately get some fulfillment out of that. You know, think about whether you've redecorated your home or you've built a new home. You know, you've created something, you created a space, even just a small space at home.
Yep.
You know, that the fulfillment and the enjoyment that you get from creating, building, constructing something in your life.
Yeah.
And so you know, I think you know, again, aligning the values within the family, that hey,
Yeah.
it's fulfillment for all of us.
It is. And I think what we need to make it really clear is, you know, owning a business is hard. This is not an easy thing, but it's a joyful, you know, it's a thing that you got to enjoy the hard, because it's fulfilling and it's satisfying and all those sort of things. So don't discount the fact that you're going to put some good effort in. It's going to be hard. You're going to have the highs and lows.
Yeah.
And you want your family to go with you, that you want them to support you in what you're doing. So again, communication is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. Communicating with, you know, what's coming up, what's going on, why you might need some time,
Yep.
Why that's important,
Yep.
how that connects in, and so that whatever's occupying your time, your attention, it's not just fulfilling for you, it's fulfilling for the whole family. It's going to, you know what, when we get this project done, this is what we're all going to do together. We're going to take some time here, we're going to do some time here. Or, you know, so just getting that alignment in, you know, values, but also the benefits out the other end of,
Yep.
you know, what's important, you know, being aware of what's really important to those around you as well, and how can you connect into that. Like, you know, the great thing about building businesses is the financial reward that comes out of that. And I always go, well, you know, why, you know, what's important to me? Freedom's important to me. Business can provide that, not just for you as the individual, but it can provide freedom and choices for your family as well. And you know, I think that's something that you can all share in together.
Yep.
But it does take you all respecting each other to be able to get those wins.
Yeah, indeed. And I think I've heard you speak about this as well before, is that the business enables the things to be done that your family want to achieve. And I know it's giving back to charities. It's the things that tap into their why. And it's like talking to your customers, you know, it's no different.
Yeah.
It's the same stuff. So understanding what are the things your family members aspire to do or achieve,
Yeah.
and tapping into with them, how does your business support that or enable that?
And that's not, you know, if you're putting your goals or, you know, a dream board or a vision board, that's not for the business necessarily, and it's not for you individually,
Yeah.
but those that are really important to you. It's a spouse, it's a child, you know, it's children, it's, you know, what other things that we can put in this big overarching,
Yeah.
these goals for us as a family, that are important to each and every person that is part of the family, and then understand that the business is the mechanism for being able to achieve those things. The other thing is being really conscious of your time and your calendar. I think being able to budget your time around when that spare and available time is going to be at home. When is the best, like if you know that everybody's going to be out at these times of the day,
Jump in.
then that's the time to start to schedule the things that you need to do.
Yeah.
That you need the quiet around. Even if you're in a smaller place, in a noisy environment at home, when are the times where it's going to be less noisy? And start to schedule that around. Like take control, take responsibility
Yep.
for that scheduling, rather than just getting yourself in a big fluster because everybody's making noise when you want it to be quiet. Well, could you have scheduled that time better?
Yeah. Take ownership of that. I know a lot of business owners are concerned about the time they spend on their business on the weekend. We both are in our business on the weekend.
Yeah.
And I know my family, they don't need me 24/7
No.
on the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm very aware of that, and they are aware of that. They don't need me hanging around as well. So it's a case of, do I do the full how many hours I would during the week? No. But I know there are times, particularly on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon, that's quiet time. Everybody's gone off to do their own thing.
Yeah.
So for me, jump back in to get those projects done or the planning.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity because oftentimes on the weekend people are out at home, and if
Absolutely.
you're maybe if you're a single person with flatmates, maybe the weekends are a great time to be able to knuckle in and get that peace and quiet, make the phone calls, whatever it is that you got to do in
Exactly.
your business.
Yeah.
And that could be the evenings when everybody else is out partying or whatever it is. Like whatever, find those times because it's not going to be noisy in anyone's house, in everyone's house, all of the
All
time.
the time. Correct.
So find
Yeah.
those the patterns, and then start to schedule your calendar, your time budget around when those quiet times are.
Or can you extract yourself out of the house to go to a quiet place to hang out? Like cafes are a great place. Put your ears in. Go to the library, for goodness sake.
Yeah, library's a great one.
Supposed to be quiet. There's Wi-Fi there. There's lots of free Wi-Fi around in a lot of cafes now and all that sort of stuff. There's no excuse that you can't find the pockets that you need to spend on your
Unless
business.
you're looking for an excuse.
Exactly. Yes, good point. Very good point.
There's always an excuse.
We can always find an excuse. So what might be the 3 takeaways that we might jump into that people could grab
Okay, so
today?
we're talking about getting alignment within the family. So goals, making sure everyone's aware of how the business connects to how you live each and every day. The success or the failure of the business will, in most environments, have some kind of effect on everyone else in the business. That'd be number 1. Number 2 would be making sure you share the same values, work ethic, all that. And so that people, actually respect the time and effort that you put into building something great, rather than detract on spending so much time at work. Work can be enjoyment.
Yeah.
And thirdly, make sure you schedule your time right. Like look at your, you've got your week's calendar. When are those quiet time? If you need quiet time, if you need peace and quiet, you need some alone time. When are those times in the household that you can start to schedule that in?